If you've been keeping up to date with stock market news, you would have seen that Afterpay has just been taken over by Square for $39 billion, an absolutely huge sum of money. Today we'll be looking at the stock price of Afterpay and looking at exactly what the effect of this news has been on it for shareholders. Let's have a look. How's it going, guys? Ryan here and welcome back to another stock market video. Today we'll be looking at Afterpay, ticker APT, after the news that Square dropped, which it is taking over the company for $39 billion. We're going to be basically doing some technical analysis to make some predictions on where we can expect to see the stock price of Afterpay go within the next few days. But before we get into that, guys, please remember to leave a thumbs up if you do enjoy today's video and subscribe if you want to see more of this sort of content. We cover stocks, crypto, investing and wealth management. I'd also love to know your thoughts on the APT situation down in the comments section below. But without any further ado, let's jump into the computer and take a look. Welcome into the Afterpay chart, guys. As you can see, it has been an absolutely incredible stock from a price perspective and has grown significantly over the past couple of years. It peaked recently at roughly $160 US, which is a very large amount of money, and it's currently sitting at $126. Now, let's have a quick look at exactly when the announcement occurred that Square was taking over the company. As you can see, the day prior it closed at what appears to be $96.68, and from that point the news was released the next day, which resulted in the stock price absolutely skyrocketing. On the day it was announced, it got up to about $124. The day after, it hit $132. Huge jumps, especially if you got in really early and you were suffering as a result of the loss up here when it plummeted down. Hopefully you weren't, but look at the volumes. The volumes were absolutely insane, and the reason for this jump, for those of you who don't understand why this has actually occurred, is because effectively the company has been valued at $39 billion. So the value of the stock price is jumping up to a point where the market cap will move towards that $39 billion mark. That's effectively what happens. What we have seen though is, and what happens on a very regular basis with Afterpay, is a very big gap has occurred right here, and the gap's basically between $100 and roughly $114.60. So that is there. It may get closed, but I highly doubt it, just given the nature of this announcement. If this was a typical chart, I'd say gaps need to be closed, and we'd expect to see that gap closed within the next few weeks. But given the nature of the agreement that has occurred, I doubt this is going to happen. It looks like a lot of people are basically selling their Afterpay shares at this point. As you can see right here, it's just hovering around sort of this price range, and you can see the volume down here has just been absolutely crazy. I mean, even zooming out, the only other time that we saw these sort of numbers, was when the crash occurred back in March of 2020, and then one random day in May. So it's really not something that is too common, but as you can see, obviously a lot of trading action is occurring. So let's have a look at some other real interesting indicators, as well as looking at, I suppose, the trend of this stock itself. So moving up, the first most obvious thing to do, and I'm just going to actually remove the volume here, is let's put in place what we can see as the key support and the key resistance points. From a support perspective, I really think that right where we were sitting previously was a very important support point for the stock. So I'll just chuck that one in there, probably at roughly, $94. And we didn't quite reach down that low, but it was getting to that point. So where else can we put some in? There's probably been a lot of price action that has occurred at roughly this point at 115, which we saw a bounce has occurred off right there. So this has occurred and it has, gone crackers, I suppose, but it was used as support and then bounced straight to the next area where we're currently sitting right now. Let's have a look at that. It's right at about $129.40 that we see our next point of what is acting now as resistance. Will we see it bust through there? I do believe we will, but I don't think it will be significant. So I don't think we're going to see, these highs once again, but I do think what we could see is that the likes of, mid 130s or something to that effect, maybe up to 140 maximum. I don't think we're going to see more than that, given the market cap of the company is currently, sitting at $37 billion. So only $2 billion more dollars. It can only go up a certain amount, guys. It's not going to go absolutely insane from this point onwards, I don't think, at this stage in time. So let's just remove those and let's just have a look at a few other, I suppose, key indicators that can help us determine exactly what's going on. The first one I want to see is the RSI, and I really think what we're going to see is it is shooting up, and that is exactly right. Sorry about the ads, guys. You can see that from a point of where we had the little bit of a bottom at 95-ish dollars, it shot up due to the absolutely massive amount of buying, and we saw that in the volume obviously due to this announcement. It's still within an acceptable range between the 30 and 70 point, so that's fine. We're not currently overbought, but it looks like it's resting given the fact that it's moving in that direction. It moved in that direction very, very quickly. Obviously, what we're going to see is people taking their money out now due to this sort of an announcement. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it cool off slightly, nor would I be surprised as well if we went into the overbought territory, just given everything that is currently going on. Let's remove that one now and let's have a look at the MACD. I reckon we'll see a big cross has occurred, and that's exactly right. We've had a big cross occurring, and what this is actually indicating to us is that we're probably going to see a lot more price action occurring in a buying manner. Basically, when we see it cross into the green section, when we see this blue line converge above the, I suppose, a longer term trend, that is when we're going to see momentum build. So from an MACD perspective, we're seeing that, well, I think we're going to keep increasing in value, probably to roughly the areas that I've spoken about, mid 130s, maybe 140, maybe probably not past that point, but it's going to be pretty positive from here on out. So that is good news. And the RSI is also indicating, as I mentioned, we're not overbought yet, so there is plenty of buying that can still occur in that sense. Let's bring in our moving averages now, and we're going to bring in our three usual ones. The first of which is our 20-day moving average. The second of which will be our 50-day moving average. I'll make that one red so it stands out. And then the final one will be our 200-day moving average. And we're bringing that one in. And something that's interesting which is occurring now is all these moving averages are very, very close together. What we have seen, I suppose, is this 20-day moving average going above and below the 50-day consistently. Both the 20-day and the 50-day are currently sitting below the 200-day moving average. 200 days at $112, 20 days at $109, and the 50 days at $108. What I think we'll see now is the 20-day moving average and the 50-day are both going to go up and cross that 200-day once again, just given the price action that has occurred, and given that I think we're going to see, consistent momentum and consistent buying and selling and trading basically around the $39 billion market cap amount. So all in all, really looking good, and I hope that a lot of people were able to, get in and take advantage. Well done to shareholders. I'm feeling absolutely ecstatic for you guys. It is great news when your company gets bought out by another and you're making some awesome money. And props to everyone who is getting in at these low levels. We're talking sub double digits. $8 a share basically. Wow, incredible, considering that it went up to a peak of $160 a share in a year. That is insane in my opinion, but massive congrats to shareholders, and I hope if you are still holding, you are happy with what's just occurred. I'd love to know your thoughts on the APT takeover down in the comment section below. Afterpay has been an absolutely incredible company to watch, and I'm sure many shareholders over the past few years have been extremely happy with the performance of the stock itself. If you did enjoy today's video, remember to leave a thumbs up, and if you want to see more of this sort of content, hit subscribe and turn on those bell notifications. We cover stocks, crypto investing, and wealth management in general. And with that, guys, I'll leave it there. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Cheers.